Okay, everybody, here are our notes on economy. How does the interdependence of trade and economies affect globalization is our guiding question. Interdependence meaning dependent on each other, okay, and globalization again meaning the spread of culture to create one global culture. Remember that you are writing only the things in red. I will be talking about the things in purple. Natural resources are resources that come from the earth. Examples of this would be considered soil, trees, wind, oil. They provide food, shelter, goods, and energy. There are renewable energies or renewable resources. They're resources that cannot be used up or they can be replaced. So the sun and wind are not going to be things that we can use up. And when we use things like forests, we can always grow them again. There are non-renewable resources. These are resources that are limited. They are finite. When these resources are used up, they cannot be replaced. So an example of this is fossil fuels like oil and coal, and then also things like gold and iron. So what is an economy? An economy is a system used by societies to decide what goods and services to make, how to make them, and who will receive them. So this is everything that you make and then who you trade it with. That's what economy is. What you make, who you trade it with. There are 4 different styles of economy. A traditional economy is individuals producing goods based on traditions and customs. So you make things the way you've always made them. You have a traditional method. You trade with who you've always traded with. You have a traditional way of doing things. There is a command economy. This is the government and not individuals making economic decisions. So your government leadership would say, we're going to make this. This is how much we're going to make it cost. And this is who we're going to sell it to. So the people don't really get any choices. The government is making all the decisions. There is a market economy. This is people and businesses deciding what to make and what to buy. They're deciding the prices based on supply and demand. So individual people or individual businesses are deciding what they want to make, how they want to make it, who they're going to trade with, what the prices are, and the government doesn't have part of that. The most common kind of economy is a mixed economy. Okay, it includes elements of all the 3 types. So you might make things in a traditional way. You might have some government involvement, and then also some people and businesses who are deciding. So a mixed economy is just a little bit of each of those different kinds. So when geographers are looking at countries, they're looking at how strong their economy is, and they're defining that country based on their geography. They're putting it into a category. So they classify countries based on the strength of their economy. They're looking at how connected it is. They're looking at agriculture, which is farming, and industry, which is things that we're making. What they're looking for is, do you only make one thing? And if you stopped making that thing, suddenly you don't have anything to trade. Or do you make lots of different things and do you have lots of different things that you can trade or grow? That means that your economy is stronger. Okay? They're going to divide you into one of 3 categories: developed, developing, or newly industrialized. A developed country has some agriculture, which is farming, a lot of manufacturing, so they're making a lot of things, and they also have service industries like banking and healthcare. That means that you're developed. Okay? Developing, so you're on your way, means that you depend mainly on agriculture or farming, and you have a little bit of industry, so you're making some stuff. One of the big things that stops you from being developed is that your workers generally have low wages. There's also newly industrialized countries. So these are countries that are in the process of becoming industrial, or they're just starting to have like factories and start to mass produce things. Okay? So they're on their way to being a developed country. When we talk about what we're trading with people, there are exports and there are imports. Exports are goods that we are selling. They're exiting our countries. They're extra resources or products that other countries need that we can make. There's also imports with an I, and those are things that are coming in. And these are resources that we don't have or that we can't make. So an example for Minnesota is we import a lot of produce because it gets cold and snowy here and we can't grow those things in the wintertime. There are 3 ways that our government is majorly involved in our economy. That is tariffs, quotas, and free trade. Tariffs are government-placed taxes on imported goods that makes the item more expensive. So the government says, yes, we can get that here, but when it comes into our country, we're going to charge a tax on it. There are quotas, which is a limit on the number of a specific product that can be imported to a particular country. We have quotas in our country for cars from foreign places and for weaponry. Free trade is open trade between nations without any of these things. We do have free trade agreements with several countries. Please write 3 sentences here in your summary section